Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the last session by Rob on Delmia Works. And I also hope you got the chance to attend Scott's What's New with Our Data Management Solutions. So SOLIDWORKS has been around for 25 years now, and this year is more exciting than ever. I'm not sure if you were aware, but SOLIDWORKS 2021 SP0 just got released yesterday. So if you're eager like me to try the new tools that we have and that we'll be showing you today, you can try them as soon as right now. So for those of you who may have missed the previous sessions or are just showing up now, this year to demonstrate the new enhancements, we are using the Square Robot Assembly. This is a submersible robot that is lowered in a petroleum storage tank that inspects it for any defects. It was made by a company that is a startup based in Boston, and they used SOLIDWORKS entirely to create this assembly, and also the 3D experience platform was used to collaborate on this project. So again, this year we decided to break our presentation into 4 segments, and we are at the last but not least, which will be our communications tools. So a lot of new and fun, exciting features this year. I really hope you had the chance to attend the previous ones. If you didn't, they're all recorded, so you can always play them back later. Also, if you didn't know, there's a chat box to the right of your screen where you can ask questions at any time. Our team is there to answer all of your questions as they come in. So, new in SOLIDWORKS MBD, or Model-Based Definition 2021, is the support for datum targets in the MBD environment. And then tables can also now be inserted in your 3D PDF and be tabulated, similar the same way your bills and materials are handled. So let's have a look at how all these added functionality can help you communicate your designs better without the need of a traditional 2D drawing. SOLIDWORKS MBD provides an integrated alternative to creating a 2D drawing, which helps you define, organize, and publish your 3D PMI into industry standard formats like a 3D PDF or Step 242 even. The way it works is that we capture 3D views, like you can see here, that provide all the necessary information to manufacture your parts, removing the risks of confusion on the shop floor and also making it easier to understand for the end user. So datum targets are useful for defining points or areas of contact to position a datum. What's new this year is that the datum targets are available right in your MBD environment. So your traditional location dimensions can be used to define the location of the datum target, and they're fully editable just like any other dimensions. So we're going to set up a datum target on the far end of our sheet metal part here. The first selection will establish the datum reference, which was, in our case, the datum A. And you can see here on the left that we can define our datum targets as a point, a circle, or even a rectangle. For this one, we're going to make it a 1/4 inch circular target, and we will apply a location dimension to define our position for it. And so for this target, we'll make it 1 inch from the far end. And also we're going to make it 1 inch from the vertical flange here at the bottom, which will be our datum B. So flat patterns in 3D views have been available for a few releases now, including bend tables and bend notes in the 3D view. But what's new this year is that the bend table information can be published to your 3D PDF. For this part, we're going to attach a neutral format like a step file and also include the flat pattern information as a DXF file for laser cutting. You can see that all of the custom properties are extracted from my part and pushed to the 3D PDF with no manual data entry. And also the bend table columns that you see here on the left can be selected for publishing. 3D PDFs are a fantastic way to accurately communicate your design with downstream manufacturing operations who might not be lucky enough to have SOLIDWORKS installed on their machines. All they need is Adobe Acrobat Reader, and all of the 3D views are presented in an easy-to-read and navigate format. All the information about the datum targets is also available now, and the flat pattern view contains the bend notes corresponding to your tabulated bend table on the left here. Model-based definition provides you with the latest technology to clearly communicate your designs to your manufacturing. And this year, sharing this information with other parties is easier than ever with a new HTML output format from your 3D PDF. SOLIDWORKS CAM now is a fantastic tool that most of you already own, and you might not be aware of that. The standard CAM package, which is good for 2.5 axes, is included with your SOLIDWORKS licenses. No extra cost, you have this tool available to you. And if you need a more robust, maybe a 5-axis CAM platform, then CAM Professional is the right tool for you. So the next section will be highlighting the newest features inside of SOLIDWORKS CAM. As your production scales, you may need to expand your capabilities to include manufacturing. So to demonstrate the new amazing CAM functionalities in 2021, we're going to be redesigning this sensor mounting bracket. You can see on here that a default stock bounding box fits perfectly to our finished part. What's new this year is a predefined bounding box, which gives you the ability to represent standard rectangular stock. For example, this 6x6 inch piece of 6061 aluminum bar stock. You can now save, update, and share your go-to sizes through the technology database for reuse in multiple places. With the automatic feature recognition, you can generate an initial strategy in under just a minute. This initial toolpath simulation looked good, and what we're going to do next is take a deeper look inside of the drill operation. New in 2021, you can define PEC parameters with respect to tool diameter or the flute length. More control of point-to-point operations like drilling lets you capture best practices. And of course, the technology database stores how you want to do it in the shop. And that means your preferences become the next defaults. You can compare this to your standards templates. For example, if all you have in the shop floor is 8-inch white bar, you can make the changes in here and save that predefined stock to your database. Now, a new prompt for rebuild is presented when stock is modified, and everything from my coordinate system feature to the thread operation needed to rebuild, and now you're more aware of exactly what's updating in your program. So speaking of updates, how about swapping in round material instead here? I'm excited to introduce this next new functionality, which is a cylindrical stock that is now automatically generated. CAM will fit a minimum diameter and thickness, and with a few changes, I can see what the program's going to look like with an 8-inch aluminum. If you share your posts between programmers, no one needs to be hunting around their C drive. A new setting in the tech database for 2021 provides the option to specify a default post folder. This is pretty handy to keep you updated when folder locations change, and we know that happens all the time. SOLIDWORKS CAM 2021 gives your manufacturing floor even more automation with better stock options, enhanced drill operations, and better control over where you're managing your posts. Having your CAM and your CAD under the same umbrella has amazing benefits, especially when it comes to design changes. So be sure to explore how SOLIDWORKS CAM can power your everyday milling and turning. And if you need any additional information, Javelin is here to help. SOLIDWORKS Visualize has been around for a few years now, and I truly hope you guys are leveraging it already. And if you're not, or still using PhotoView 360 maybe for your renders, then we should definitely have a chat. Visualize is our amazing standalone photorealistic rendering platform, and this year it's became even more robust to meet your rendering needs. In 2021, the integration between SOLIDWORKS and Visualize is even better. With previous versions, you could only access the last saved configuration when importing your models. In Visualize 2021, now all the configurations are accessible from a drop-down menu. Applying appearances has always been a simple drag and drop from the appearance library onto your part. New this year, they made working with materials even more simple. When you're active in the part selection mode, just like before, a single click will select your desired part. What's new now is if you double click on the part, it will select the part's appearance. This makes it way easier for copying and pasting or even editing your appearances, since you don't need to toggle between the different selection modes. This bracket housing is actually a 3D printed part. So let's see how we can adjust the appearance with some additional texture to give it a more realistic look. I'm going to use the new double click to get to my material properties, where I can adjust the color, and then I'm going to add a texture to give it a more realistic surface finish. After we've added the texture, we'll go to the displacement matte, where we see that it's a little too extreme for a 3D printed surface, so we'll tweak that. And as always, custom appearances can be saved and reused for later projects. Here we have a nice 3D printed texture from a previous project that we will be able to reuse. And just like in detailed drawings, section views are a really good way to illustrate hidden features of your design. Visualize has supported section views in the past, but really what's new this year in 2021 is the ability to add capping to these section cuts, along with modifying the capping color for some beautiful outputs. From the right mouse button menu, you can hide and show combinations of these section cuts to be later bulk rendered in a single operation with Visualize Professional. There's times when photorealistic rendering might not be the right visual language to communicate a concept. Available in Visualize Professional 2021 is a new Toon camera filter, which is perfect for giving an artistic, conceptual sketch look to your designs. You'll notice here a handful of preset effects like white on black and black on white, and a few others that are accessible through this drop-down list. When it comes to creating renderings, nothing beats the speed of Visualize's hybrid rendering engine coupled with our AI denoiser. Previous releases of Visualize allowed you to generate rendering passes for specific rendering layers, such as beauty, alpha, ambient occlusions, and so on, which would each require their own rendering process. So what's new now, this workflow has been streamlined by generating each of these requested layers in a single rendering output. With all these new additions to Visualize, there's really no better time to get you started with it. I'm in love with the new Toon effect. I think it looks amazing and sharp. And those cut plane colors also have been something that our users have been waiting for a long time. So our last topic for today is one of my favorite solutions, SOLIDWORKS Composer. For those of you who may not know what it is, it's a standalone application that reutilizes your CAD data to generate graphical content for either assembly instructions, user manuals, or even your marketing collateral. So I'm super excited to announce the support of multiple configurations. This is something that our users and myself have been waiting for a very long time. SOLIDWORKS Composer lets you import many different CAD file types to create your technical views. When you're importing a new assembly, it's always recommended to select the appropriate import profile depending on the origin of your CAD data. Now in SOLIDWORKS Composer 2021, the open dialog gives you even more control with direct access to the configuration information of your part or of your assembly. The open dialog, uh, there are plenty of great rendering styles built into Composer to help you in getting the exact look that you want. Here, I'm going to select the flat technical display option for my illustrations that I'm about to make. Before you start any project, there's a few document properties that should be tweaked before we capture a bunch of views and then having to redo those. So we're going to go to our File drop-down menu, and here we now have additional user settings to the selection and highlighting options. You can now allow for hidden edges to be shown, along with modifying the color intensity. And just like before, colors can be set for both part and assembly selection and model highlighting as well. Common changes include the viewport background to remove the gradient sort of look. So we can also adjust the background color to have maybe a pure white background. And next, another option that you may want to tweak before starting to generate views is your paper space that you can set to standard document sizes. And then lastly, the units can be modified from metric to imperial. What is new this year is the ability to save these document properties, so you don't have to redo those all the time. This is extremely helpful when you're working with other systems, updating previous projects, or just standardizing your company document settings. The next step for this replacement part catalog will be creating some views for each different cleaner head options. Composer offers quick ways to hide and show parts with the right mouse button and the right mouse button menu pop-up. In this case, we're going to hide all of the unselected components and leave just what we need for our view. New in 21, you will see an updated user interface as well that allows for extended docking of your tabs and windows. For example, here we're going to move the configuration tab and dock it to the right side here. And now with the new configuration active, it's easy to create all the additional required views for the final document. New this year is the ability to toggle the visibility on and off from the system's preference by enabling the option that you see here. With this option, you'll receive direct visual feedback of your hidden and shown components with each of your selections. Each variation of the cleaning head subassembly needs their own exploded view, so we're going to do that next. Sorry, I'm having a PowerPoint glitch here. Just give me a second. Yep, we're going to wrap up. Okay. Okay, apologies for that. When you have this option on, you'll receive direct visual feedback of your hidden and shown components for each of your selections. So jumping ahead to the completed project, new this year is the ability to host and share the native Composer file directly on the 3D Experience platform. This will allow the interactive content to be viewed through any web browser and on any device. I'm sure a lot of you are excited about that. So this year, Composer helps you realizing even more information from your CAD data. Being able to see the document properties is huge in helping you implement standards across your company. So this wraps up the last section of our SOLIDWORKS Wits new presentation, but please stick around as there's many more amazing sessions coming up today with 3D printing, the 3D Experience platform, and an amazing presentation later that I can't wait to see that will give you a taste of our large assembly and drawing workshops. So thank you again for attending, and I'll see you later.